For years now, we've been promised this amazing future of self-driving cars, right? A world totally transformed by autonomous tech. But it feels like that future is kind of stuck in traffic. So the big question is, if the technology is so good, why aren't we all just kicking back and letting a robot chauffeur us around?
I mean, just picture it. You walk out of your house, coffee in one hand, phone in the other, and instead of dreading the commute, you just say, "Car, take me to work." And it just goes. Smoothly, safely, no stress. It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? Well, the crazy part is, it's not.
The truth is, the core technology to make this happen, it's been around for a while now. I mean, companies have been testing these things for years. Our cars can already park themselves, swerve to avoid obstacles, and spot pedestrians. All the building blocks are there. So, what's the holdup?
And this quote it nails it. This is the heart of the problem. It's not really about the car anymore. For the most part, the car is ready to go. But the real world, with all its chaos and unpredictability, yeah, that's a whole different story.
So, before we get into all the problems, let's just take a second to remember the dream. And wow, what a dream it was. This was never just about convenience. It was a full-on vision to solve some of the biggest, most annoying problems in transportation.
The picture they painted was practically a utopia, wasn't it? A world with way fewer accidents, traffic that just flows, and commutes where you could actually, read a book or answer emails. It was a promise of more time, less stress, and, most importantly, way more safety.
And the logic behind it was rock solid. I mean, the data tells the whole story. The overwhelming majority of car accidents are caused by us, by human error. So the thinking was pretty simple. Take the human out of the equation, and you create a world with way fewer tragedies on the road. It's like turning Rush Hour into a perfectly choreographed dance of super patient robots. So naturally, this incredible idea created an insane amount of hype. Go back to 2016, and you had CEOs and experts confidently saying that by 2020, self-driving cars would be totally common. But, as we all know, 2020 came and went, and these cars were still pretty much stuck in limited test programs. The hype train hit a brick wall. So what exactly is that wall made of?
And that brings us to the first huge barrier, and it's a big one: reality. The real world is just an absolute mess. An autonomous car might be a genius in a clean, controlled lab, but the street? That's the toughest exam it will ever face.
Just look at the difference here. In the lab, everything is neat, orderly, predictable. But out on the road, it's pure chaos. It is the world's hardest video game, cranked up to the highest difficulty, and there's no tutorial.
I mean, think about what an AI has to deal with. It's not perfect roads and shiny new signs. It's potholes that show up out of nowhere, lane markings that have faded away to almost nothing, and traffic lights that are just plain broken.
And then you throw people into the mix. Pedestrians who wander into the street completely glued to their phones. Traffic cops who just ignore the green light and start waving people through a red one. We humans get that stuff instinctively, and AI, not so much. And we haven't even talked about the weather. Heavy rain that messes with the sensors, thick fog where you can't see 5 feet in front of you, or that blinding sun glare that hits the camera at the worst possible moment. The world is just a storm of things that can go wrong.
So here's the real kicker. The problem isn't teaching a car to follow the rules of the road. Any good programmer can handle that. The real, multi-billion-dollar challenge is teaching it how to handle all the exceptions, how to improvise when the world doesn't follow the rules.
Okay, so beyond the physical chaos of the world, there's a whole other layer of challenges that are even trickier. The legal, social, and psychological stuff that tech, on its own, just can't fix.
This right here, this is the question that keeps lawyers and regulators up at night. It's so simple to ask, but it is incredibly hard to answer. When a machine messes up, who's on the hook for it?
I mean, just look at this list of suspects. Is it the person who owns the car, the company that built it, the software engineer who wrote the code, the person who is supposed to be paying attention? Until we have clear answers here, governments are going to be really hesitant to give a green light.
Now, let's just get some perspective. Over 1 million people are killed in car accidents by human drivers every single year. We've sort of just accepted that humans aren't perfect.
But here's the psychological twist. We do not give machines that same pass. A single crash with a self-driving car becomes this massive international news story. We have this weird double standard where we expect humans to make mistakes, but we demand absolute perfection from our technology. And this leads to this fascinating culture clash right on our roads. The autonomous car is the perfect student driver. Cautious, by the book, follows every rule. We humans are not. The AI stops for a yellow light, the guy behind it is laying on the horn. The AI leaves a safe following distance, we see a perfect gap to cut into. The AI drives by the book, while we drive by, well, in practice. These two driving styles just don't mix well.
Okay, so after hearing about all these roadblocks, you might be thinking this is a lost cause, but it's really not. The revolution isn't canceled. It's just happening in a totally different way than we thought. It's coming slowly, piece by piece.
This right here is basically the roadmap. It's not going to be like flipping a switch. It starts small, in controlled zones. Then you get robotic taxi services in specific cities, like we're already seeing pop up. After that, you'll see automated trucks on long, boring highways. From there, it'll expand to wider commercial use. And then, finally, at the very end of this long road, we'll get to the point where we can all own one.
So, to wrap it all up, the technology itself is really just one slice of this pie. The real reasons we're still waiting, the chaos of the real world, these huge legal and regulatory question marks, our own weird psychology about trust, and the fact that our cities just weren't built for robot drivers.
But you should not mistake slow progress for no progress. This is how these huge, game-changing technologies always roll out. They start slow, they face a ton of pushback and skepticism, but then, once those big foundational problems get solved, the adoption curve just shoots straight up. It will feel like it's taking forever until suddenly it's everywhere.
And that really brings us to the final thought. Maybe the question we should be asking isn't, when will the cars be ready for us? Maybe the real question is, are we ready for them? Because make no mistake, they are coming. And when they finally get here, our world isn't just going to change, it's going to be completely transformed.